Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
A peaceful vigil turning into chaos. The likely reason those people mourning the death of rapper Nipsey Hussle started running.
You killed her. We all know you did.
A man accused of killing his wife and then fleeing to Panama will finally appear in court. The message that his wife's family wants him to hear.
The ways a possible border shutdown could affect your next trip to the grocery store.
From a dream to reality, how officials are trying to make college more accessible to homeless students.
6 o'clock on Tuesday, April 2nd. Hi, you guys. I'm Virginia Cha.
And I'm Brian Schlonsky. It's a day that's not quite as toasty as yesterday.
As toasty.
So jackets may be in order, although that's a pretty picture.
Yeah, it is a pretty picture this morning. Yes, today is going to be drastically cooler than yesterday. Some areas like Poway and Escondido were awfully close to that 90-degree mark yesterday, so a pretty toasty day for sure. As we look towards Chula Vista, you can see those patchy marine layer clouds down below, and this is the storm system that we are tracking. Most of the rain is going to stay in Oregon, Northern California, and Central California. We're really on the very tail end of this cold front. It is going to be bringing a deepening marine layer and a chance for a little light rain overnight tonight into tomorrow. But in La Jolla right now it is 57 degrees rather. Sunrise at 6:36, just about 36 minutes away. And temperatures will be climbing to the 60s for most of the county. I will pinpoint a few 70s today when I come back in just 9 minutes. Hey, good morning, Kalina. How's it going out there?
Good morning. We have speeds down to 30 miles per hour here on the 52 east and westbound right at the 125. So if you usually take this, actually this is the westbound side, you will be slow from the 67 as you head on out toward Mass, and then you're clear as you continue on over to the 5. So the 805 and the 5 freeway loading up. You can see some of that red there. I'll have your drive times in just a few minutes. But right now on the 5 freeway heading southbound looks good. The 78 nice and clear. We have 66 miles per hour heading west there. And here are your drive times out of the South Bay. You can see 17 minutes right now on the 805, 14 minutes on the 5 freeway, 7 minutes now on the 54. And we're also seeing a pretty major backup right now out of the South Bay here. Speeds down more so like 26 miles per hour at the 94. Guys?
Thank you so much, Kalina. This morning we expect to learn more about the shooting death of rapper Nipsey Hussle as the LAPD talks about an increase in the violence there. Now, the news conference is coming after a vigil for Hussle, you can see, turned into chaos. 20 people were hurt in this. Most of them had to be treated after being trampled.
Absolutely chaotic, mass panic. When we were watching it from footage from overhead, it was literally people scattered in all directions.
Now, police say the cause of this chaos was likely a fight, possibly a loud noise that triggered a stampede after people mistakenly thought there was gunfire. Investigators are now asking for help to track down Nipsey Hussle's suspected killer. They have identified him as a man named Eric Holder. Police say he walked up to Hussle and 2 other men Sunday outside Hussle's clothing store and fired several times. The rapper, by the way, had just played a show on Friday night at the Basement Club here in the Gaslamp, a show that would end up being his last.
Happening today, the man accused of killing his wife in their City Heights apartment will appear in court.
Yeah, 10 News reporter Travis Rice is live downtown. Travis, investigators are saying they arrested him in Panama less than 2 weeks ago.
Good morning. Yes, they did. He had been on the run since the start of March, but they tracked him down and actually brought him back to the United States at the end of last week. Now, police say Abdiaziz Caro killed his wife, then fled the country last month. 36-year-old Muna Salad Curry was found dead at their City Heights home on March 4th. Police had been suspicious of the husband because he had disappeared the day that her body was found. The victim's sister actually found her sister's body after not hearing from her for 2 days. The sister had always pointed the finger at the husband. Take a listen.
You're a man enough to kill my sister. Show yourself. Come and stand in front of our face. All her sisters. Come and stand in front of us.
The victim ran a daycare center for the children in her Somalian community. As for Caro, he did have a criminal history. He had been previously arrested for a felony drug charge in 2007. Live downtown, Travis Rice, 10 News.
Thank you, Travis. We have some new information about the deadly Marine helicopter crash over the weekend. The Marines have confirmed both pilots had previously been stationed at Camp Pendleton. They say Major Matthew Wygand and Captain Travis Brannon were killed during a routine training mission in Yuma Saturday night. And right now, investigators are still trying to figure out the cause of that crash.
Our new from overnight, fire investigators looking into what caused a fire at an apartment building in Oceanside. This happened late last night on Brook Street. Crews say that it started in the garage below the homes. Eventually, a car caught fire. Luckily, crews were able to quickly put out those flames and none of the housing units were damaged. No one was injured either.
6:04, President Trump says he will shut down the U.S.-Mexico border as soon as this week if the flood of migrants continues.
And if they don't stop them, we're closing the border. They'll close it, and we'll keep it closed for a long time. I'm not playing games.
Customs and Border Patrol estimating more than 100,000 migrants were stopped at the border in March, and they say an even higher number is expected this month. The Department of Homeland Security has called for emergency operations at the southern border. Meanwhile, economists and immigration experts say closing the border will hurt the more than $1 billion a day cross-border trade. But the president's acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, says the president will follow through.
So if the border shutdown does happen, we could see some big changes at the grocery store, including a shortage in avocados. A local produce supplier says the shutdown will affect the more than 700 local restaurants that it works with. Specialty Produce Supplies gets 40 to 50% of their stock from Mexico. Owner Bob Harrington says that closing the border would drive up produce prices. Basil prices would double, pineapples would go up 40%. He also says that items like cucumbers and limes would be difficult to find.
Now, all of this is happening while some of our local leaders are in Mexico trying to improve relations with the country. The focus today will be a problem many of the South Bay say they are tired of. Sewage runoff from Tijuana spilling into the water off our beaches, forcing their shutdown from Imperial Beach to Coronado. Several cities have already filed a lawsuit against the federal government, saying the International Boundary and Water Commission is violating the Clean Water Act by allowing raw sewage to flow in from Tijuana. Today, the mayors of San Diego, Encinitas, and Chula Vista will be focusing on water policy on the other side of the border. That visit runs through tomorrow.
It is deadline day for Attorney General Bill Barr. House Democrats want special counsel Robert Mueller's full Russia report delivered to Congress by today. Barr has already said that he plans to release a redacted version of it by mid-April, if not sooner. The House Judiciary Chairman will authorize a subpoena this week to get the full report. In his summary of Mueller's findings, Barr said that the report didn't have enough evidence of obstruction to bring charges against the president. But Democrats want to read it in its entirety and try to decide for themselves.
Now, a 10 News Morning Original. New reporting first at 6.
California lawmakers want to make it easier for homeless students to go to college. 10 News reporter Jared Aaron's in the Live Center right now. So, Jared, they say they're trying to give homeless students a place to stay.
Yeah, Virginia, this is Assembly Bill 302, and it would require community colleges to let homeless students sleep in their cars on campus parking lots overnight. The legislature will start looking at it today, and students we spoke with here in San Diego say they think it's a good idea if it's done correctly. Students at San Diego's City College say they can't tell which of their classmates are homeless, but they know they're there.
Some people are living by themselves, some people only have one parent, maybe no parents at all, and they're just trying to have a good life for themselves.
A recent study of California community colleges found that 1 in 5 students had been homeless in the past year. To help, San Diego's Community College District already offers showers, priority class registration, food pantries, and help finding homeless services on and off campus. Now they may also have to offer overnight parking for students to sleep in their cars.
If their sole purpose is to only focus on education, why not just the community college help them out a little bit where they can just stay as long as they have like a car somewhere, you know?
Some students worried, though, about safety concerns, oversight, and problems it would cause on campuses where parking is already hard to find.
If it was during the day or something like that, then it'd be pretty inconvenient for people trying to find parking or take their courses here, but overnight it seems pretty harmless.
The bill says schools would have to address all that and more, including rules against drugs and alcohol. All worth it, students say, to help their classmates.
Yeah, because they actually know that they'll actually have a roof, I guess, over their head. But yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Now, officials with the San Diego Community College District told me they are watching this bill closely, but they would like to see it changed a little bit. They want it to allow them to open their parking lots rather than require them to do it. We'll let you know what happens as that bill moves through the Assembly. In the Live Center, Jared Aarons, 10 News.
All right, it is 6:09, and man, talk about a roller coaster with our temperatures.
Yeah. We're going to be doing a lot of this the next few days, but yes, today is the first drop. We are starting off with some patchy low clouds. You can actually kind of see a little bit of them over El Cajon, but overall, a lot of sunshine here. And if you are headed out to the Padres game tonight, they are taking on the Diamondbacks at 7:10, about 62, maybe 63 degrees then, topping off around pretty close to 70 for downtown this afternoon, but that's cooler than the 78 degrees they hit yesterday. The winds will be building through the day, especially this afternoon and evening, with the mountains and deserts in a wind advisory, which I will talk more about coming up in about 9 minutes. But I put an asterisk next to every area that is going to be at least 10 degrees cooler today, and it's actually easier to point out the areas that aren't going to. So Del Mar at 62 and Coronado at 67 degrees, even in the mountains. The deserts, however, will not be, and Imperial Beach at 67 will not be 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. I am going to be tracking the cooler and more wet weather when I come back in just about 9 minutes. How's it going out there, Kalina?
Well, it is looking pretty good out there. We do have one problem to talk about and then some slowing throughout San Diego County, but overall, nothing major slowing you down this morning. That was a 78 north and southbound, or excuse me, east and westbound to and from the 15 right at Nordall. You can see the 805 here and the 5 freeway for that matter. We do have a crash southbound side of the 5 right at 24th. The left lane is blocked off, but you can see it's still pretty green heading southbound here. It's the northbound side that's seeing most of that traffic. So if you're going to be traveling northbound 5 through National City, speeds down to about 24 miles per hour. 805 north, that's slowing down just before the 54 as you head all the way up toward the 15. We have speeds in certain spots down to 19 miles per hour. And the 52 west at the 125, still slowing down here, that transition road at 20. Guys?
Thank you, Kalina. Scammers posing as customer service workers for a big wireless company. What you need to know to avoid becoming a victim.
Just because you feel so good, you have to drive me out of my head.
Rock and roll icon Mick Jagger, his health scare forcing the Rolling Stones to halt their North American tour.
How a stranger's generous decision led to a local woman to get up and dance in the middle of her hospital room.